Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Cat's Track. We post an interview with an amazing Canadian each day for your daily inspiration. Today, I would like to introduce my friend and colleague, Kim Moody. Kim was born in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, and lived there, McMurray, and Wetaskiwin. He finished his management degree at University of Lethbridge in 1991 after whistle stops at Camrose Lutheran College and University of Calgary. His entire professional career has been spent in Calgary since 1992. Lucky us. Kim has been married to his beautiful wife, Vivian, since 1992, and they have 4 boys that they're very proud of: Alex, 24, Lucas, 21, Jacob, 18, and Benjamin, 15. A very busy home, and thank goodness for Vivian. Besides Kim's family, he tells me that he is most passionate about building our firm and punching above his weight, and he certainly does that. And with the most colorful wardrobe in town, including his casual wear. He also said that he loves traveling with his family and enjoying good wine. Friends, you will find his full bio attached. Kim, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Catherine. Right from my cabin today.
That's so nice.
BC. So
good for you. I love Invermere. It's beautiful out there.
That's great. And yes, I got my casual wear on today. I don't usually let people see me in casual clothes, but that's all right.
We can see the other side of you. This is very nice to see. Are you ready for the questions that I sent you?
Sure, fire away.
Awesome. So the first one would be interesting to hear your perspective of the greatest challenges that you've had in the last few months.
Well, there's been no shortage of challenges, and the obvious one being COVID-19, and I think there's probably not. You'd find a much shorter list of people that have not, had challenges with COVID than people that are, and certainly we fall into that category, and me, individually as well. So it's been a challenge, and I could go, if you'd like, I can go into all the details and nitty-gritty details of the challenges, but my guess is you're probably not, and your audience is probably not that interested because some of them are rather obvious. But it definitely has been a challenge to stay positive and continue to move forward in such a weird time. So that's the first challenge. Second challenge, and some of our friends and colleagues certainly know about the second challenge, but we lost and I lost a friend and a partner in pretty tragic circumstances in May, and it was a real shock and a real challenge to deal with, and there's no recipe book for having to deal with that tragedy and the shock of it all, and dealing with media that just don't understand, and so I would say, Catherine, that's probably the 2 biggest challenges in the last 3 months, and you roll with it, right? And you figure it out, and that's ultimately what I've tried to do, and certainly what our team has tried to do.
And still motivating the team through it all, Kim. You've been amazing.
No, thanks, Catherine. It's trying real hard. There's certain. I would say that with our team, there's many supporters of the leadership team, and I'm part of that, and there's the odd one or two that doesn't support, but you look at the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is we got a great team, we got great support, and really intelligent people, and just good people, and the ones that come out once in a while and don't want to support or don't support, they weed themselves out eventually, but we try very hard to make sure that we motivate, and make sure that ultimately the motivation is transparent and honest. Nothing worse than leaders that come out and say everything's fine, don't worry. Meanwhile, the ship is sinking.
Yeah.
that's dishonest leadership, and that's not how I'm built, and that's not how our firm is built. We'd much rather have transparent honesty in everything we do, and most people appreciate that. Some don't, but that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, well done, Kim. And the
Well,
three
thanks.
things that you would like to share with the audience today.
Well, maybe shameless plug. Wrote a book,
Yay!
Making Life Less Taxing,
Yeah,
and it's certainly not a textbook on tax. That would be, instead of being, you know, this thick, which is hardly any, it would be that thick.
yeah,
Um, so I'd encourage people to pick it up, take a look. It's a very easy read in terms of how you could approach your taxes better. Sure, there's some shameless plugs in there and marketing, but for the most part, it's about how you could approach your tax situation better. And then the last part of the book is how Canada could, uh, my views on how Canada could do better on tax policy. So that's maybe the first thing, is shameless plug on the book. And then
good.
second is something that, uh, I've learned in my leadership style and leadership. I love the study of leadership. I know you do too, Catherine, and it's something that I love, you know, experimenting with. And one of the things I've learned, a ton over the last, especially 5 years, but in particular the last year, I took it even more seriously, was the importance of mental health. Taking care of your mental health and the people around you, and your physical health. And the combination of the two is something that's pretty powerful. And when COVID hit, one of the things I purposely did is I upped my workouts even more than I had, and I decided to take my prayer and meditation to another level. And I can tell you, in hindsight, holy cow, am I ever glad I did that.
Yeah,
Because I don't think I would have had the strength and to deal with some of the challenges that COVID threw at you, and the tragedy that our firm had to face, and some of the challenges that we continue to face. But if I'm not there mentally and physically and healthy all the way around, then what good am I as a leader to my family and to the firm? And so that would be probably the biggest message, I think, and that I would convey to the audience, is take mental health seriously. um, I think I always have, for certainly the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 9 years, since I've learned a lot about it. No expert, but I can tell you, as you know, all too well, Catherine, the last 2, 3 months, it's been it's been a struggle in terms of making sure you stay positive and focused, and so keeping care of this thing is pretty important.
so true. I agree. And you and I share the spirituality side, and that's certainly what helped me through, I think, for you too. Hey?
Yep, absolutely. A lot of people just dismiss that when they, yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fine.
Yep.
You know, I'm not shy about it. I'm not gonna, grab your hand and ask you to say a prayer with me, for example, because I'm rather private about that. Uh, uh, but for me, meditating and prayer is something that is very, very important in trying to keep this thing healthy for me.
I agree with you. And anything else you'd like to share with the audience?
Anything else? Well, just I think COVID has been a really interesting time, and uh, interesting to look at, and I can tell you that for me, what's kept me rather sane is openly questioning some of the stuff that's being fed to us by the media. And so I would just strongly suggest that if people are getting their information about COVID, strictly from the media, please challenge that information, because there's agendas at play here all the way around. I know that sounds like a conspiracy theory, but there is agendas all the way around, try to, you know, rather than spend your time in figuring out what those agendas are, maybe just simply openly question some of the stuff that's going on. Obviously stay healthy and you know, do all the right things but don't accept all the stuff that's coming from the media, and make sure that you stay true to your roots and your goals and move forward and stay positive, keep healthy, and and don't let you know, don't let this thing change your entire goals in your life. And because yes, there will be some changes, but that doesn't mean that you need to stray from your goals and your convictions and your beliefs. And I find that, you know, even some family members are straying off, and it's awful to watch, I have to say. And so that would be probably a, you know, I'm no expert, but that would be certainly something I would leave with the audience, is to, you know, openly question and challenge some of the stuff that's being there, which goes to one of the roots of what I like to say I am, which is an intellectual rebel.
Yes, you are. I love it. Keep it up. I had a good conversation with Aaron O'Toole on a Cat's Track, and I asked him openly if he would have been Prime Minister at the time back in December, how things would have been handled. And it was very different approach than our current Prime Minister. And it was all about locking down the borders right away, protect our vulnerable, do a lot of the things that Taiwan and Singapore and others did right from the very beginning. And I just, anyway, it's easy to go back and say, I wish we would have had a different Prime Minister, but I did. I wish we would have had a different. Anyway.
Well, we share those views, Catherine, no question.
No question.
And I mean, it's easy, as you just said, to criticize in hindsight, right? But I think good leadership also requires, you know, big balls and decisive decisions instead of waffling. Nothing worse than a waffling leader. Oh, yeah. The wind is blowing that way today. Okay, good. Then I'm going to comb my hair that way today. Yeah. Oh, the wind is blowing this way today. Okay, I'll comb my hair that way. That's just, you know, I don't know if I can swear on your Cat's Track, but that's just shitty leadership all the way around.
You're allowed to do whatever you want. This is your track, my friend. Thank you. And what about the news or legacy story, or what would you like to leave us with?
Well, news or legacy. Legacy, I don't know. You're kind of catching me a little flat-footed here, Catherine, but which means that I didn't totally prepare for this question, so apologies. But
it's all good.
But having said that, I would say, you know, stay true to your goals, stay true to your convictions. I already said this, you know, which I think is towards the legacy piece. You know, be open to criticism, you know, but dismiss the outliers, because there's no shortage of outliers, especially in this day and age of social media, where, you know, in 140 characters, you can have an equal voice just like everybody else, and which is somewhat disturbing in the whole scheme of things. So be true to yourself, and take care of yourself. Here and here.
That's great advice, Kim. Thank you so much for joining us today on Cat's Track. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Catherine. Appreciate you as always.
Thank you, Kim. Everybody, that was Mr. Kim Moody. Check out his book. It's awesome. And check out Moodys Tax. They know what they're doing. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you on the next one.